So you'd find 10.
10.
And you'd like
10
donate it?
stuff. It was things that came out of a, well, it was in,
You find it on the streets and stuff?
well, it wasn't in the street, it was on the edges of the street. And they would take the tin and stuff to get it out and take it to wherever it goes to, so that we can use it for the United States have to use it.
Oh, for the war?
Yeah.
How old were you? Do you remember?
How many what?
How old were you at the time when you would collect tin?
When I would say about 9 or 10.
9 or 10?
Yeah.
Wow. Did Nancy and Jane help you?
Well, no, they can't, because see, they were just almost babies when I was, but we did our work there. It was different because everybody was using stuff from the streets and stuff. Anybody else can probably make it better than I am, but it really was there.
What other things did you do to help with the war?
Okay, that's what I was getting up to with you. Let me get it, because there was a lot going on. For one thing, you got out of bed in a hurry, really, and we would eat, but our food, ours was, it came from the war. I mean, it came from the people out at, oh gosh, it's one of these streets.
Near your house or far away?
No, it's far away. It was, it's out on one of the, it's on a street going out to, I can't tell where that came from. I can see it, but I can't tell it.
That's okay. It's okay if you don't remember the details.
But it was, everybody did this. Everybody pitched in. In other words, at that time, everybody loved everybody. In other words, we would have things on your doors about things, and everybody had that sort of thing.
Did they have like notices and papers and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not too bad, but it was there.
Was your father away in the war?
For 4 years.
For 4 years. And what was his name? And he was a doctor.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember any stories about him being away at the war?
Do you really want that?
Yeah, just something that was important to you that made you proud of him.
I heard from at the table, which I wish I hadn't heard. Well, anyway, we had to eat everything. You didn't throw food away. You didn't do anything. You didn't throw away anything. And maybe somebody else could help you better than I'm talking about.
No, Nanny, you're doing great. I love to hear about your childhood.
Well, it
wouldn't be the same if I heard about somebody else. I don't care about everybody.
My generation is quiet. I can just really be still. And sometimes it's not very good, but anyway, it's me. And people at that time, sisters clucked together. So boys did the same thing. And they went to war too. But that was farther up.
Did you ever get nervous, like about your friends going to war?
It's something that you don't know anything about. It's not going to bother you. This was. It's the parents, the people were trying to hold everything to go. And when you had to get meats and things like that, it was awful because you couldn't hardly get a lot of food. And you had so many little things. We had little things that they take out of what do you call those things? Anyway, they take people, they take things to take someplace else to get some food.
Mhm.
We had to do that on Saturdays,
Oh yeah.
and that's all you could. That's the only time we went out to do anything.
Did they like ration your food?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
Oh really?
Yeah. I don't know if you can get any one or two of them. I don't care to see them anymore.
Sure.
They were green and pink, something like that.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you could only eat by that stuff.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
How did
You
that go
can't just
on?
go to the grocery and say, I need this, I need that, and that. You go to the thing, just like they're sitting in. Well, you probably see poor people who have to run to a place to get some food
Like a
because,
food bank?
yeah, it's just like that.
Mhm.
You didn't feel any, everybody was in pinches like that.
Mhm.
So we were all together. The whole streets, women and men were all up together.
Yeah.
And it was odd, really odd. It was the first time that I knew of the the war.
Mhm.
Was we? It was on. I can tell you what it was. It was on Christmas, not Christmas. It was oh,
New Year's?
it's oh, I know. We were sitting at the table. We
Mhm.
heard. We didn't know a well, you hear
Airplane?
planes. You never saw them. God, we were scared to death of them.
Oh,
We
really?
went out on the streets, really, and we looked up at them, but we really couldn't see them. You know, they were further up.
Uh-huh.
I said, "What was that?"
Uh-huh.
That's true. And I was scared to death. Well, Daddy knew what it was,
Uh-huh.
and he that day that was like I say on that Sunday day, I'll never forget it. He we went all back into the home to try in our home to finish up our dinner, and the telephone called for him
Mhm.
to go down to get ready to go into the army. He had to leave us before even saying goodbye.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Must have really needed him.
it is. But see, you have to take it in the way. Oh, I'm sorry.
You're fine. I don't mind.
I don't want to burst it up,
Hey, okay.
but you don't. Everybody had the same problems,
Mhm.
so it made it feel better that you were not just one person,
Mhm.
and it turned to be pretty much better.
Yeah. Can I ask you about, so I'm going to change the subject a little bit and move a little bit forward in your life to,
Okay. Yeah, because this could be all night. You don't want that.
I want to talk a little bit about the 1950s for you. And
Tell me something you remember, so that I can.
well, Mom was born in 1954,
54.
right? And I know you became independent, you know, a little bit after the time that Steve was born. But I want to tell me about what it was like being married and pregnant and having your picture in the paper, and what was your life like before you?
I was blessed.
Yeah.
Because my father was a doctor, my mother was a nurse,
Mhm.
and they were always with to take care of us. They did. I wasn't. We weren't hurt or didn't have things for medicines and stuff like that because my father took care of us.
Mhm.
So we didn't have. We were okay at that point.
Tell me about your relationship with your parents as you became a parent yourself in the 50s.
Let's see. But I was his spouse.
Uh-huh.
Mostly like your mom is.
Mhm.
Have you watched your mother pretty much?
Yeah,
You watch your mother more.
she's real independent.
Not only that, she is exactly like her grandmother.
Oh yeah?
Yes. Like everything she does.
Huh. What should I look for? What? Yeah.
She'll give you.
Uh-huh.
That's the way it was. That's what your mother is.
Oh.
I look at Mary, and I just know who she is and what she's doing and everything. And I'm different, and I'll tell you why. In my father's family, they're German,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that that my grandmother didn't want my father to marry my mother,
Mm-hmm.
and they had he was a doctor, she was a nurse,
Mm-hmm.
and it was none of my grandmother's business.
Mm-hmm.
My grandmother was very nice to him. Everything was calm all the time.
Yeah.
No family stuff or anything. And that's true.
Mm-hmm.
And what else did you ask me that I was into?
No, you're fine. I was asking you about the 50s and when that period of time when you got married.
And I got married.
Yeah,
Okay.
and you got pregnant with mom, or
Yeah.
carrying mom.
Okay.
Was it a happy time? Were you still rationing food?
It was a turmoil. One day and the next day and everything. For me, it was.
Mhm.
But my mother and father were with me all the time
Mhm.
that I had my children.
Mhm.
My father and mother really didn't want Mary Carolyn, well, me, to see how I get that. Uh, well, anyway, see, when I was pregnant, I was fine. They took me to the hospital. My mother did to the hospital because Daddy was on the farm, had his work to do then,
Mhm.
and everything was fine.
Mhm.
Uh, my mother absolutely loved Mary Carolyn.
Mhm.
In fact, my father just made her wild. I mean, she was. Daddy could go there and get into in his lap. He loved it. This was before Stephen was, and uh, and you know what your mother would say to your grandfather,
Hmm.
said, Daddy, please talk to me one more thing about the oh the thing that he was telling to her.
Mhm. Tell me one more story.
Yeah, one more story because you know right because he had his neck right up around her fist. And he thought that was so funny because he didn't have a son. He wanted a son.
Mhm.
But anyway, that's done. And
It sounds like a sweet memory.
it was. Nobody fought or anything because in our house it was just like over your mom's house. And I can look at Mary and I know Mary. I can just see Mary Carolyn all over again.
Mhm.
You know. But Mary Carolyn just goes over. But
So what about when Steve was born? Because I know things changed for
it
you
did.
when Steve was born. What was that like?
Well,
Can you talk a little about it?
I didn't want any more children. I just wanted one.
Uh-huh.
And first time.
You were like, oh, baby, okay.
Yeah, there you go. Because I was working when I was doing these things. And I worked for Daddy and I did in his, when he had women to have to do things and have them take their clothes off and blah, 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 all that other stuff. And I helped him quite a bit.
Mhm.
My mother had done the work for him, and this was after the war.
Mhm.
And it took quite a bit to try to get yourself built back up. And Dad did pretty well. He never made any more than $35. But that's not very good. But anyway, my mother was a good worker. Just when you look at your mother,
Mhm.
you're looking exactly like your grandmother. The things she does, the things she talks about, and they're both of them the same.
The personality.
Everything. And poor little old Stephen, I saw a picture of him not so long ago in a magazine, in a thing that I have at home.
Mhm.
And I could almost cry because there's Mary's just loving mom and little Stephen just sitting there looking at him, look like, this can't I do this? It's sad. He loved people, Steve did.
Mhm.
He still does now.
Mhm.
So he had kids. And he, he's come along pretty well, I guess.
Yeah.
And you get to a point with your kids that you can do just so much for them.
Mhm.
And then when it gets past that, you can't do anything more.
Mhm.
So go do what you're going to do. I can help you.
Yeah.
It's
I'll
hard.
be here for you when you need me, but
Yeah,
be on your way.
yeah.
Yeah, Mom did that with me. It was good for me.
It is. But when you get up in my age, my father told me one time that it broke my heart. I said, he before he died,
Mhm.
he looked at me when I was there when he was dying and everything. I didn't think I was going to make it. He said, Marie, I want you to take care of yourself because you're going to be living a long, long time. I said, what is it you mean? He said, because your sisters and the family, they're not going to be around with you. I thought, God, don't tell me that. I don't want to. Now, take this right. I'm not being silly. I should be in a box out in the place where you put people in the. Yes. And I every day I get up, I think about Daddy. He was right because he knew exactly what was going on. Although he was dead, now that makes 60 anything to you.
I'm glad you're not in the box because I love you, but
You do that to a point where it's like sitting over there this few minutes ago.
Mhm.
Here's younger people, very younger. Here I am, an old woman,
Mhm.
and where do I fit in? I don't.
Aw.
That's true. That's right. So you have to take care of yourself when you get like that.
Yeah.
And I'm not throwing any crap to you. It's the truth.
Yeah.
So it's the Waldos. They were dying at the time when both of them were in the 60s.
Mhm.
So I would like to have had that.
Oh, your purse.
Oh, I felt something hit me.
Oh, I got it. Mhm. You want to run up there with me?
Yeah.
Um, so you separated from your first husband
I did.
right around the
You know
time
what?
that Stephen
You
was born.
really want me to take you really why it was.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
It's not very nice.
What happened?
Okay.
And this,
I had dad marry Carolyn.
Mhm.
And his name was Ballard Walden.
Mhm.
I saw the better in him. My mother and father didn't like him. Well, thought that I could be better than that, you know.
Mhm.
And I was horrified. I wouldn't go out of the house when I was pregnant
Why?
because that's the way it was in those ages.
Mhm.
I didn't want people, my friends, know that I was pregnant. And it was going on all the way at Henry Clay when I was going up to school. I didn't know.
You were pregnant when you were in high school?
No, not me. But before that, there was a lot of girls that I was in the school with
Mm-hmm.
who were pregnant, but they weren't telling the teachers.
Oh, because they weren't married?
Yeah. And I didn't know it.
Mm-hmm.
So then I got to thinking, why should I feel bad about it?
Yeah.
I mean, life is life.
Mm-hmm.
And after after Mary was born, bless her heart, her father loved her,
Mhm.
Ballard.
Yeah.
And they all talked about him. I loved him. I really did.
Yeah.
But I wasn't I wasn't so forth. Uh, he came over on Easter and took pictures out of us
Hmm.
at that time. And I couldn't figure out if they were not liking him. Why are they having him over here?
Mm-hmm.
And I just let it go. I thought, I can't get to that. So that mother and daddy went along with us.
Mm-hmm.
We were to come to eat just like y'all eat over here.
Mm-hmm.
My parents didn't say anything about it. And my sisters and their husbands and stuff. And I felt so humiliated because that I had to have a kid out of whatever.
Wedlock? But you did. You did get married.
I did.
You and
Yeah,
Ballard.
I did. So that eased my senses too.
Mm-hmm.
So I got through that. Then poor little Stephen comes on. Now he came in June, just like your mother did.
And this was in 1950.
53, and the other one is 51. I got it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in other words, Stephen, Mary had the first one.
Hmm.
Then the next year, it was the next year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it came also was in the same place.
Okay.
See, it makes it look crazy. Am I making sense to you?
Well, so Mom was born in 1954, right? 1954.
I thought it was 60. Are you sure?
It doesn't matter. We can get those at the
Yeah, I
finger.
got that too wrong. Yeah, I'm probably the one that's wrong.
Dates aren't as important as just this your story.
It is if you want to get it. Now, my mother, knowing how she is with her genealogy, she would say, "Now,
Yeah.
I want to tell you, you're going to do it this way."
And I'll look up the dates and the records and all that
Do
later.
it for sure.
So what was it like for you? And I know this is kind of a deeper, more personal question. We don't have to go into it if you don't want.
I will.
But being a single mom of two kids in the 1950s,
Because I was at my mom's home.
you just relied on her and your dad.
I didn't ask for anything because I felt like I was dirty. It was just like that. That's the way it was when we were you find the 8 people in these ages that it it was okay. Seemed like something that was okay. So I went along okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I had an apartment, and that was over there it's over there close to UK, and we lived there because Mother said you can't live here with me. I said I understand. I didn't want to be with them either.
Yeah, you can be independent.
I didn't. I had a nice apartment.
Mm-hmm.
It was really on downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
And close to UK. We had good times and stuff like that. And my aunt used to come down. She lived up in Hagerman Court. See, I had a lot of at that time. I had a lot of people, the Adamses and other things. So I know, and everything, and I felt dirty because here I am, not really wanting a baby at this time. And then when Mary was born, oh God, honey, everything turned. She was the charm. She was. And I thought, oh God, this helped me. But that's true. I hope you don't tell everybody about this.
Not everybody.
I know. But, and I don't feel so bad. I got out after some of my girls' friends that I knew said, don't worry about it, Marie. She said, you'd be surprised about how many people have kids and don't care and go back and get more and do anything.
And then you got remarried to Jim not too long after Stephen was born, right?
That's right.
He was like maybe 3 or 4 years
And
old.
you know what I said to him?
What did you say?
Did you know Jim?
No, Jim died a year before I was born.
Well, you would have liked it. He would have loved you. He did. He was
My best friend.
He went to church. He was one that's in the church.
Mhm.
Anyway, I was I was not I was not with anybody for a while until I could get my brains together. And when I went to school, high school, I found out that I could be there and go, go down the streets and stuff and talk to the girls that I just talked to them. These girls from UK, they're in sororities, and I just talked to them about it.
Yeah,
Made me feel better about it.
that's cool.
But I stayed on there, and
They're a pretty supportive community.
no, I didn't get anything. I was working and taking. I only had $40 to stay in uh this place that we were living in.
Your apartment?
Yeah, it was only 40. And I could do that, and I felt better doing it on my own.
Mm-hmm.
And we had so much fun, Mary and Stephen. It was just wonderful.
When you married Jim, did you move from your apartment? Did you move somewhere else? Or did you guys live there for a while?
Apartment, and I was settling down to get myself together. And I finally figured out that stay away from men. Well, it's the moral list. Yeah. And so I took that thing too. I said, oh, I'll just leave him alone. So I took all of my everything that I had, put into Mary and Stephen. They don't understand that now, but that's all I had. And Nancy come over, and then I had an aunt, and then I had a great aunt that would come to see me, and my mother. We would walk over to UK to get some food. You have to pay for it, but it's better than what you get now, and that's part of that. And then Jim came along. Oh, his sister, who was in Henry Clay, his sister asked me to go to Boonesboro because they were going to have a picnic. So I took my children, and uh, at that time, and she asked me if I wanted to go with her. I said, well, why not? And we went to the river down there, and the mother was there, and sandwiches and stuff, and Stephen and Mary were there. Also, Jim. I saw him, but
you think he was cute?
no, I didn't.
Oh, what?
I wasn't looking for anybody.
Uh-huh.
I was scared. I was really scared of him.
Uh-huh.
I didn't know how to act. I knew I had children, and the white children, and all that sort of stuff. So I finally got over all of that, and he was very good to her, Mary. Sometimes they would, you're not my father. It hurt him. And when he told me, he said, think it over, Marie. So it was about 3 months that I got myself together. Do I want to do this?
To marry him?
Because he worked downtown in Lexington. It's in the things down there. Well, anyway, everybody knew who he was. And he was a lot more, he was a lot over me. I was smaller. Well, I know, but it's not kind to me. Um,
Was he like wealthy, or was he known in
He
society?
didn't have anything. Not well, he worked down at the downtown for it's thing that they give out things to people and stuff. I don't know, you figure it out. And then he said, "You think about this." So, like I say, I let it stay for a while, and I said, "Well, I'll give it a try." But I'll tell you, one little something go haywire, I'm gone, or you get out.
Yeah.
But he was a Baptist too.
Mm-hmm.
He was a big Baptist, but he was. The next time I see it, I'll give you a picture of him. You'd like him. Stephen didn't like him. Stephen just had fits with Jim, he and Jim just, and Jim was just a little, I mean, he was just a little kid. And Jim did everything in the world to try to do scouts and did everything for him. And he got him pretty well. I think Stephen's problem was that Daddy was having things with uh, taking with Mary. Mary did get a lot of attention. Stephen hardly got any. And it was hard for me to work and try to get him back in,
Yeah.
But it turned out pretty well.
Did they ever end up growing close, Jim and Stephen, or not really?
More so to Mary Carolyn, but Stephen, he's gone his own way. And in fact, you can see it when you talk to him now.
He's so independent.
He is.
He does his own thing.
His own thing. He's going to do it.
And he's successful. Yeah.
That's what he is.
And
you just have to leave it alone. But the things that is breaking my heart is he is taking bad with his children. He doesn't, we call it whipping, but he's hard on the boy. Yes. They've had fights, Stephen has.
Yeah.
And it comes from that.
They're both so strong-willed.
Oh God, it's awful. I just get away from it because I've done what I've done.
Yeah.
And I've trying to do the best I can.
Now to the box.
There you go.
I'm teasing you.
That's true. I know all this stuff things.
It's important to me.
I know.
I've been doing a lot of genealogy.
Love your children. Love them. Daily. Hug them. Have your husband in with you. Don't just run off and let them. And if you don't have to, don't let somebody else take care of your children. Because they feel the things that goes away from them, the kids do.
Yeah. That's something that we try really hard to do. And
no,
it's neat hearing your story about being alone, a single mother, with 2 kids when you were so young.
And that's how my mother, she pushed me in.
And
Dad did too. Oh yeah.
Made it work. That's the way I think about things. I can make it work.
I know.
Right now I'm doing school and Ethan works. And I'm going to end the interview here so we can just talk. But say hi, everybody. Hi.
You're a nice man now, but